Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Government what its response is to reports that 506 sex offenders in Scotland have changed their name in the past 2 years.
Cabinet Secretary Angela Constance.
Presiding Officer, there are not 506 individuals that have changed their name. There are 506 instances where any form of registered name was changed or updated. When a name is changed, that change is made across multiple records, so would involve a change to, for example, registered email address or registered gym membership card, etc. So multiple instances of a reported change could be attributed to a smaller number of individuals that may have changed some detail of their name. Sex offender notification requirements apply to the individual, irrespective of what name they use, and where a registered sex offender changes names, they must let the police know within 3 days or they breach their notification requirements.
Liam Kerr.
I thank the Cabinet Secretary for that answer, but I'm not sure that querying the figures in an FOI is going to reassure the public particularly. And disappointingly, what I didn't hear there was a commitment to legislate to ensure that this is absolutely watertight. The Cabinet Secretary must surely see that this is a system open to abuse. Now, the Scottish Conservatives have been calling on the government to implement changes around sex offenders changing their name for years, similar to those in the UK Crime and Policing Act. So will the Cabinet Secretary now commit to bringing similar legislation to Scotland before the next election?
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, let me start by assuring Mr Kerr that my officials are in regular contact with Police Scotland and indeed officials across the UK in relation to all matters in and around public protection. The UK Crime and Policing Bill, which is currently before the UK Parliament, does include proposals around sex offenders and name change, and I can assure Parliament that Scottish ministers are actively considering extending these measures to Scotland.
Liam Kerr.
I thank the Cabinet Secretary for that, but I think what will also worry people is whether, in addition to the up to 506 sex offenders we know have changed their name, there are others who will have done so but have failed to report it or to register it. So what steps has the Cabinet Secretary taken since Scottish Conservatives revealed the scale of this problem to find out who they are, as well as ensuring that those who have done so in the last 2 years are being monitored properly?
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, there are, of course, very strict requirements for registered sex offenders, and I'm sure all members will appreciate and accept that Police Scotland take their obligations very seriously in this regard. There is an important matter to consider here, particularly in and around the Crime and Policing Bill, because I am very mindful of the need for at times consistency across these small isles, across border, particularly in very sensitive matters of policing. And again, I want to reassure the member and indeed Parliament that I have written to the UK Government. I am following an internal process within the Scottish Government, and as soon as I am able to, I will be informing Parliament on our next steps on this very important matter.
Stephen Kerr.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. The Cabinet Secretary perhaps can clarify, because Liam Kerr was quite explicit in his question and in terms of the FOI information he received, that there were 506 sex offenders who changed their names. And the Cabinet Secretary seemed to suggest something else. So some clarity, please, in the response about the veracity of the information that Liam Kerr received. And can I ask her, of the 506 name changes, how many were followed by breaches of licence conditions, reoffending, or just disappearance from police data?
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, I have actually answered a very similar question in Chamber before in relation to this. Actually, I think, if my memory serves me correct, it may have been a question from Murdo Fraser. So let me repeat, when a name is changed, that change is made across multiple records, so would involve change to, as I said earlier, gym membership, registered email addresses, and so a name can be changed on multiple records, and that will be attributed to a smaller number of individuals. The information that Mr Kerr, both Mr Kerrs refer to relates, I believe, to a freedom of information from Police Scotland. We can, of course, try and clarify that information further, and I would be happy to write to both Mr Kerrs further on this matter.
And Douglas Ross.
Sorry, I don't think the Cabinet Secretary should be offering to write. She has come to the Chamber today to ask a lodged question where she knows the query is about 506 sex offenders changing their names. Yep. So if she can confidently stand up and say that is not 506 individuals, it is the number of changes made, can she tell us how many sex offenders have changed their names? That is a simple question that she must be able to answer, given what she has previously said.
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, it is of deep regret that members seem incapable of listening. So let me repeat once again that on the information that is at my disposal from Police Scotland is that there are not 506 individuals. Please, Presiding Officer, I am not putting up with this.
This is just a
Sorry, Cabinet Secretary.
I'm not putting up with this.
Mr Ross, when you have put a question, please be courteous and listen to the response quietly. Cabinet Secretary. Cabinet Secretary, sorry, I did not hear what was going on there, but I would ask members to behave in accordance with our standing orders. Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, Mr Kerr did indeed ask a reasonable question, but it is of deep regret to me that members in this Parliament behave like children when we are discussing the most serious matters about public protection and the risk that are presented to members of our community as a result of sex offending. And I have went to lengths that are right and proper in terms of my engagement both with the past and current UK Government in and around how we can cooperate on these matters in a pragmatic way, bearing in mind that we all share an island irrespective of our different legal systems. And let me repeat, just for accuracy, there are not 506 individuals that have changed their name.
Cabinet Secretary, Mr Ross, I will not ask again that you refrain from shouting from your seat when you have not been called to speak. That is the last time I will ask you. Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, perhaps it would be better if I just referred the member to the earlier three answers that I have already given in this matter, and I repeat my commitment to both Mr Kerrs to write to them further.
Thank you. That concludes topical